Hey folks, Dwayne from Grandpa's Garage, the little garage that could. Just wanted to welcome you back. It's been a while since I posted any video, and it's been an extremely busy year, but a good year. So thought I'd bring you back to see what's happening lately in Grandpa's Garage. I'll turn your attention here to what you can see beside me. A piece of equipment that I purchased this fall. Let me just move the camera just a touch and then we can give you a better shot. Okay, well here we have it. This is actually a Princess Auto Sold unit. It's a 3-in-1 sheet metal brake, shear, and roll, or whatever order you want to put them in. But if you start from the bottom, it's a shear on the bottom, the press brake in the middle, and then slip roll on the top. I got a really good deal on this machine and brought it home. One of the first things I had to do with it actually was I had to build a very sturdy stand. This unit is almost 320 pounds. So I didn't want something that was flimsy at all, because with that kind of weight, if that thing fell over, it would not be good. But also I wanted to make it portable. It's on casters with locking wheels, so I can move it anywhere in my shop and still make use of it. So once I had my cabinet built for it and got the unit itself mounted, then I started to do the cleanup on it. It first comes when it's got like a packing oil or grease or whatever on it, so you got to clean everything. And I can tell you, it's worth a while to take the time and clean everything. Like, I pulled all this apart because that packing oil or grease, whatever it is, really gets all over the place. And what it does, if you don't get it out, then it affects the setup of the unit. So once it was all nice and clean, then I went around and lubricated a bunch of stuff and started making adjustments. One of the first most critical adjustments to make was for the shear. This unit, unfortunately, any instructions that I've seen at all are very, very vague. So you need to take time and kind of think it through. Watch a couple of videos, because there's a lot of people that have bought these units, and they've posted videos so that it's a helpful thing towards getting one and setting it all up. So when I started doing that, there's a couple different things with the shear that you can adjust. You can adjust the bed itself. It goes in and out. There's actually on the bottom side here, there's a adjustment screw, and then of course there's also under my square guide, there's another set screw that basically locks the deck in place. So you can loosen it slightly, adjust your screws on both sides, but you want to first, more than anything, get this blade so it's firm against the casting. And it's a machine casting, so you want to make sure that's firm against there, but not so tight you can't move it. So the tolerance is very tight. And I lubricated, I put some high temperature grease on the surfaces so that it slides up and down. And that you can adjust with these bolts right here that are on the blade. Again, it's very tight tolerances, but you get it, and you'll find that once you have it adjusted, it'll just move up and down exactly as it should. So once that blade is there, it's moving up and down freely. You'll feel a little bit of resistance, but that's okay. You want the accuracy more than you want it to be flopping around. So then once you have that done, again, you can adjust your table. When you adjust the table, you should be able to shear a piece of paper with this. And I took a fair bit of time to get mine adjusted, and I can shear a piece of paper with it, which the blade itself is incredibly sharp. So again, be mindful of where your fingers are when you're using this thing. When you go to shear something with this, basically you line it up and you want to adjust your handles. You really, for the most part, all you need is a one handle. I've got two just for some other, I guess, for doing bigger bends and that sort of thing. You can adjust the handle out so you get a little bit more leverage when you're shearing down, because some metal is just a little bit harder to cut. They recommend this for 20 gauge. I've cut 18 gauge and I have no problem with it at all. It works well. So yeah, so when, like I say, you get the metal in there, line it all up, bring your blade down close to it, like about maybe a 1/16, and you give it a good hard snap and it'll shear it off. Let's see what that is here. Right there. This, you run your fingers across it. It's a nice smooth cut. It's straight. There's no bend over on it. It's I'm super pleased with how that's turned out. So then the next thing, the brake, and it's a press brake, and basically I'll show you here as we turn the handle. See, that blade comes up and pushes the sheet metal up into it. We'll show you. So you can just put it in there. There you go. Nice 90-degree bend. It's a clean, crisp line, and I've actually done about a 12-inch piece on here just as a curiosity when I was testing to see, and the bend is very consistent all the way across. Again, it's the setup that's really critical. So what you'll need to do is when you go to adjust it, there's these different set screws right here which hold all the blades in. Again, the different lengths, right? So what I did is I did one at a time. I had a piece of there it is. This piece of wood, and basically when I have that opened up, I put the wood in there, kind of center it on the blade, loosen these screws off, and then bring it so it closes up the gap until it's firm, because you want it to seat in the machine flange that's in behind this hold on. And again, go along for each one, and also adjust so that these are nice and smooth against each other. They're not going to be necessarily 100% perfect, but if you got 99%, I think that's pretty good. I'll show you now a couple of pieces that I did. Anyways, not important. Okay, I'll show you here. If I can get this thing to focus for me. Now you can see the profile that I did here. And that piece is roughly about, probably about 8 inches long, I guess. And you can see this series of bends that I did on that. The smaller bends are about 1/2 inch, and the bigger one is about 1 inch. And it had no problem. Now that would be similar to some of the bends that you may have to do in order to do a rocker panel, we'll say. And here's the other piece that I was looking for. I'll show it too. So now you can see I've got I get a good focus on this, kind of hard. Okay, this is 1/2 inch bends. See, it's boxed and a flange on the bottom. Again, there's applications that you can adjust it to whatever you want. Like I think of the rocker panels as the most common thing on a cart that you're going to bend it, and basically want to box things in. And if you can do it all basically in one piece, then it's much nicer than trying to have to weld a bunch of stuff together. Now, the one thing I'm not going to really show on here is the backside. There's a fence, an adjustable fence, so that if you're shearing stuff or if you're bending stuff, you can set the fence on the backside to make bends at whatever the size is that you want, and it's accurate. It's very simple. It's basically 2 rods with adjustable clamps on either end and a fence. So it works really, really good. Yeah, there's, as I say, a lot of adjustments on this. Now, one of the maybe overlooked adjustments on this machine that you don't see too many people mentioning it even in their videos is right in here. There's a bolt that goes down into the casting, and there's a nut on the bottom of it. And what that's intended to do is, as this thing goes up and down and it hits the upper casting, the idea there is it's a stop so that you can't go too far. When I first got it, it really fought that point because it wasn't adjusted properly. Now I've gotten it adjusted. I may adjust it just a fraction more, like a couple thou basically. And you can get this thing because this thing should rotate quite freely, which mine does. It's pretty accurate, I think. I don't know, maybe I won't even bother adjusting it. But anyways, so a bolt with a locking nut. You get that adjusted on both sides, and then it's nice and even. Your spacing on either side of your press brake is going to be more accurate. What else was there for adjustments? That's mostly that for the adjustments. Now, the slip roll, which is the next thing, and my wife always likes happy faces, so I'm going to show you this. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. Now that on the there's not a lot to adjust on this slip roll. Essentially, there's 2 wing nuts on either side. So other than the one that's operating. And basically what it does is it takes this top roller and moves it up and down dependent on the location that you're trying to achieve to get a roll, or on the thickness of the metal. And it's just a very simple nut that pushes up and down onto the roller itself. One of the other things that actually is kind of a neat thing for this is, if you were to make a complete circle on this thing, you think, well, how do I get this off here now? Well, actually what you do, you come over here, and they give you this nice little hex wrench which actually fits these guys, and it doesn't fit that way. But anyways, it's a very easy thing. You just rotate this pin that's here, and your top roll comes out. Okay, I got mine fairly tight. I could probably loosen it off a bit more, but it just slides past it. It's literally just a thing that locks the roller in place, and switch it back. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I do want to show you on the back here. I've got this wonderful cover that goes on here that I got a funny feeling it may be going by the wayside. Other than it does protect the rollers, so, but I'm usually very fussy on my equipment that has bare steel, so I'll spray like WD-40 or something on there regularly, clean it, make sure that it stays clean. Yeah. Anyways, the thing that we wanted to show you is these handles right here. There's two of those. Now those two handles, they adjust. This third roller goes in and out, but it's going on an angle. So basically what it's doing is it's going towards the center of the two front rollers, and that's how you get your radius as you're adjusting. I guess while we got you here, we'll show you. I had mentioned earlier about the fence guide. So again, they have these rods that just basically go in very easily, one on either side, of course, and then they have this fence, and that just goes onto the rod. Adjust it in and out wherever you happen to need it. Lock it down, and you can use it there for the press brake, or there's a second set of holes down about 3 inches or so lower, and what that's for is actually for the shear. So then you would reverse this, so it'll sit there, and what the idea is, if you have a bigger piece of metal and it's coming through on this side, maybe we're out 12 inches or 2 feet or whatever, you want to try and support your material while you're trying to function, because otherwise it's hard to use the shear if it's flopping around on everything. So you definitely want to be supporting it, and that's how you do it. Now you can see here, I've got that high temperature grease on there, and that'll stay there because generally I'm not going to be doing much of anything with this in the back side other than putting the fence in. Turn it around here again. Sorry for showing my back there to you. Okay, so this is the Princess Auto 3-in-1. Look at that, it came off. 3-in-1 shear, brake, and roll. Now the other feature on here that I didn't mention yet is on the side here. There's 3 grooves cut into the rollers. They're about an 1/8 inch, 3/16 and 1/4 inch. So if you wanted to bend up some rod, whatever you're making, if you want some decorative round rod or whatever, you can wheel it through there and get whatever radius you need to, and you adjust that. I hope that I've covered most of the basics of getting one of these things and setting them up. Love to hear from everybody. I hope that this video is helpful, and hope it encourages you to come across a deal on something like this. know, grab it. I got quite fortunate with this one because this is a 30-inch, and they're very much sought after. So you don't generally see them as cheap as I got this one, but luck was on my side, I guess. Anyways, so for now, I will be doing some more videos in the near future. It's been far too long since I've been busy with life, but I want to get back and start working on things. I've been working on, the most current thing I was working on is actually reproducing a windshield frame for the car, and it's kind of reached a point where it's, I have to kind of put it off to the side, but I'll get back at that. It's maybe halfway done right now. I'll bring it back when I get to start on it again, but I'm thinking that probably one of the things I'll be doing on my next videos is starting to get back into the trunk lid fabrication that I left off at my last couple of videos. It's getting to be a kind of a lengthy item to video, but it seems as though there's a lot of stuff that people pick up off my videos, and yeah, I'll have to really force myself, I guess, to try and do some editing on the videos, because some of them get to be a little long, and I don't want to keep this one very long either, so let's try and speed it up a bit. But yeah, hopefully I can figure out the editing process, and maybe we can add some good music in there or whatever. But anyways, I'm grateful that you came along for a visit, and look forward to putting more videos out there for you guys, folks, I should say. And yeah, you know, like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments. I read all the comments. There's been some great comments, even if they're positive or not, or negative, because out of that, then I can hopefully do a better job of this. I'm just just an old guy just working on my old cars, and I hope you all enjoy this. So for now, this is Dwayne from Grandpa's Garage, the little garage that could sing. See you later.